Well, welcome back to Silverstone Shooting Centre for the final of the Hawk Optics British Mini Rifle Championship. This is round 6. We've got 7 stages ahead of us. The championship looks like it's going Jim Starley's way.
Yeah, I think so. I think in the day with a drop round, it's Jim's one. I think it'd be interesting to see how we get on with Ben Ducker, see how far he can bring it back. But I think congrats must be to Jim. We give him later on today with the drop rounders there. Still Kelvin and Tom to play with though in terms of looking at where they are scores wise. And obviously senior, I think again with Lee Hopgood, I think he's wrapped up as well with this round with the drop round. But you never know. It's perhaps will be a very interesting sort of thing in terms of shooting. And we've got some strange stages today that I think will generate some amusement as well.
Yeah, let's not forget the newcomer trophy as well, and also the ladies' cup. That's Maria Bartlett and Dan Starnes.
Well, I'm not sure Dan's a lady, but yeah. But yes, you're right. The newcomer, I think Dan again. I think I think he does well today. He should hold on to that, and also Maria with the ladies as well, as you say.
So there's Jim Starley on top of the championship standings at the moment. A few points ahead of Ben Ducker, but we've got the job scores to take into account, so they'll probably stay like that at the end of this round.
I think so, yeah. And for the last round, we've put in some stages that you could easily zero, or you could easily win with it. So it's one of those little turnaround matches today, I hope. So, again, different. And again, it's nice to see that most of the classes are reasonably well populated. Okay, so stage 1. Nice simple stage here, and very similar stage 2. Standing in a box, they have to shoot the 6 metal plates aside, finishing off one at the end, and then stage 2 with the left hand, and then stage 2 is then shooting the right hand plates, play at the end with your right hand. So the weak-handed, strong-handed type shooting first 2 stages.
So a rather simple one to get things started.
Well, yeah, this ties in with the man v man or person v person. You want to be PC about it later on. It's the same thing, but this is quite fun with obviously 2 different arms, and again targets ranging from 8 meters to about 23 meters away. So again, the hole will change a bit, but you finish off on that plate.
You see Richard Poole there taking 2 shots. He didn't need to take that last shot, did he? He was
on
its way down.
He didn't. It was on its way down. And again, that last shot is what's recorded by the timer. So it's always a question: if it's going down, let it go down. See how Lee gets on.
We should rinse through this pretty easily.
So the trick of this is all very simple, but it's so easy just to miss because you're going too quick. I think, yeah, he's shaking his head there to realise that slowing himself down will make it quicker. Now, Nick is very good on plate, so let's see how he gets on.
That was a shame.
Shame that last one, but still good. You can see Nick does shoot a lot of steel plate challenge stuff, which is exactly this is what he have. So he should be good. And Ben will like this because it's a bit of speed shoot. Oh, 3 on that one.
Yeah, he should be shaking his head there. 2 misses. And here's Kelvin chasing down Tom Alloway. It's still possible for him to jump him, is it, in this round?
Yes, I guess it's possible if he asked nicely he could jump Tom, but but yeah, between the 2 of them, yes, there's a competition.
Room for manoeuvre.
Room for manoeuvre, yes, okay. My lad.
Are you ready?
This is Arius?
Yeah, this is the man using the iron sight.
Yes, that's right, yes. That's right, Arius, it's Time, sorry. That's a shame. The plates aside were there very quickly. That last little plate was a killer.
Yeah, he knows that one. That's shaking the head. So stage 1 results. Tom Alloway taking the win ahead of Jack Nichols. Then it was Nick Towndrow, Jim Starley, Paul van den Bosch and Super Senior having some great fun there.
Again, Nick did quite well in 3rd place. He'd be happy with that. And then Lee Hopgood, despite that little drop shot, did okay.
Yeah, you see there was a couple of misses by Kelvin and Ben. Put them all the way down outside the top 10.
Yes, it's going to say make a difference. And then David Hill did very well again. And then Maria, 14th place. You're very happy with that. It's a good score.
Yeah, beating Christian Bartlett.
And Dad beat son in the Davis Family Challenge. Yes, Maria beat her husband Christian down 25th.
Fire and moving and reloading. The essence of practical mini rifle. And the crucial thing to consider here, first of all on safety, is that muzzle has to be pointed downrange and your finger must be off the trigger when you're moving. And the scenario I say to people is if your feet are moving, your finger's off the trigger. So I almost connect the idea of my trigger finger is connected to my feet. So I'm stationary on a target, my finger's on a trigger. The moment I move, I must take my finger off the trigger on the side of the gun. Now I'm wearing gloves here today because it's cold. Don't recommend it to some extent. I don't recommend, this is a slightly grey glove on a grey background. The range officer must be confident they can see your trigger finger is outside the trigger guard. Okay? With a nice big pink finger, you can see quite easily my finger is straight on the side, not to get caught out. But if I have a gloved hand like this, it's quite easy, they can't really see where it is. So generally speaking, try and keep either glove a different colour to the gun, which in this example is bad because it's a camouflage gun, or don't have gloves at all. Something to consider. Now the thing about firing and moving is that, again, we've covered already the idea of keeping the gun away from your body. If I bring it up close to my chest, it stops my manoeuvrability and slows me down. Taking it away from my chest allows me to run, use my arms, and I keep the direction. Okay, so the idea here is going to move around the place, shooting a couple of targets we've got down range, and then obviously moving from A to B, keeping our finger off the trigger and keeping the gun pulled down range. As you can see, I'm moving around the range, muzzle came down range, I'm keeping my finger off the trigger as I manoeuvre. Now one of the slowest things that you do manoeuvring around a course of fire is reloading. And ideally you should always reload on the move. Stage reloading takes time. Imagine a total time on cost. If you're waiting for a target to come up, you're best off in moving. So in this particular course of fire, I've got a position back here, I've got a second one here, and I've got a third one over here and a fourth one there. The longest distance that I'm travelling is from this position here to the forward position. So that's the best time for me to reload. Now a lot will depend on the course of fire, how many targets, counting rounds, etc. But ideally, try and pick your time to reload whilst you're moving. Okay, so we'll try it again with a reload in between those two. As you can see, so drop the magazine, load out on the move, far, far faster.
And if you want to know any more about shooting or want to get involved, please go to silverstone-shooting-centre.co.uk and ask any questions you may have. But up next is Jim Stanley on stage 2 on the right side of the 50-metre range. That's a pretty good run, that.
Yeah, weak shoulder shooting very nicely, and I'd say wasn't a single drop shot there, so well done.
There's Matt Cox.
He's a lefty shooter, so now he's shooting right-handed. As I said, sometimes the weak shoulder shooting are more accurate because they take their time more. Just not used to it.
Are you ready?
A fairly clean run by Matt. Let's see what Tom can do.
He struggled to find it then, didn't he? He was swinging around the target and he was trying to see it there. So not used to it with his left eye. Good shooting.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Now Jack's come into the championship quite late on in the series and done very well.
That's always that last one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, that last little one is getting people.
Are you ready? Stand by.
There's James Thomas. He's right-handed, so he's using his left shoulder. Looked quite awkward there, trying to see through his sights. That's another thing as well, isn't it? Because if you've got a counted red dot, it's on the wrong side of your gun.
That's true. Yeah, that's why I've got both sides of mine.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Stand by.
Stand by. It's a decent run.
Unload show clear. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Cap on.
Stand by.
Straight up and on it. Oh, that's a shame. It was a clean run up until that last popper.
That was unfortunate, that, isn't it? Yeah.
So here are the results after stage 2. Nick Toundrow taking the win ahead of Matt Cox, then Kelvin Leeton. Gary Coppin in 4th.
Again, Nick does like the plates, so he's done very well on that one. But Gary, we're very pleased at 4th place. He shot there very well.
And Tom in 5th. Jim Stanley's taking it rather easy this first few stages.
Well, let's face it, he could wander around the place now and still walk away with the trophy. But good of him to come up and shooting.
Yeah, and Maria Bartlett
again beats hubby.
And where's Vian? Vian ahead of Tom as well. So the Davis Cup. Okay, so please tune in after the break. We've got plenty of action, plenty of different stages, and a golf buggy.
Okay, stage 3. At about 35-40 metres distance, we've got 12 full-size targets towards the back. What I have to do is have to traverse along inside this area here, making sure they can see all 12 targets as they go. They'll have to move up and down to see each one. But a full-size target means they should be able to shoot it quite quickly.
Stand by.
Well, this reminds me of the previous round, this, John.
Yeah, again, last time we did some micro targets, which we locked my accuracy. These are full-size targets, so literally it should be very easy to cook the rounds of it. So this should be a faster moving stage for it. And the distance being sort of 35 metres is not a traditional zero distance. So let's see how Kelvin gets on.
We've got a film from different angles here. As you see Kelvin sprinting over to the right, you can't see all of the targets from one position.
And Kelvin's always quick on his feet. He's very nimble, so it should be a good stage for him. As you can see, all the targets are there.
Okay, so this is Howard Roberts up next. I've not seen much of him.
Yep, Howard's been around, but so not got much on camera is the answer. Again, he's a senior shooter, again with a Ruger, and he's a good shot. He's been shooting a long period of time. This should be a good stage for him, actually. He likes these kind of stages.
I'm not going to be calling any shots here, John.
Oh, please, just call it. All season you've been lying about the scores. Why not start lying top line now? It should be a relatively high scoring match stage, this really, because an alpha target at that distance is about 18 inches tall by about 7 inches wide, so much bigger than a micro. And again, the trick here is you see the numbers above. Check the numbers above. Check which targets you can see underneath it. So a lot of them have written on their hands that they shoot 1, 6, 5, and 8, and then they shoot 2, 4, 3, and 7, so they can work out. Let's see how James Thomas does.
It's an interesting technique. I've never picked up on that.
One guy wrote in his hand, and he had to stop halfway through because he wrote it on the inside of his hand rather than his outside. So he had to take his hand off the gun. So that caused a bit of amusement. I won't say who it was. And again, people forget when you're watching the shooter, when they're looking down the scope, they're zoomed in on it. So your peripheral vision is 0. That's why a lot of shooters either shoot both eyes open, which is quite tough a skill to manage, or they'll literally shoot one eye closed, then open up both eyes, peripheral, then back again, which is what I tend to do. As you get older, your eyes do change. I used to be able to shoot both eyes open, magnified. Now I can't. Younger people can. It's easy to adapt to it, unless you have an eye issue.
Taking his time here, James.
I think he's going back to target he's already shot, looking at where the sand is striking up. But yeah, is it better to score a miss and a penalty, or just take time? I'd say in this stage, course of fire, you're best off making sure you've got them all.
Well, he's definitely making sure of that.
Oh, now he's got a mag issue. That's a shame. So if he shoots
I think
one
he's just going
round
to call
in
this now, isn't
yeah, I guess at that point in time. But you have that sometimes. So they've got one round left to shoot. The amount of time they take to shoot it, it's almost sometimes saying, you know what, don't. Oh yeah, he's given up. Look,
got through 2 mags.
Not a good stage, James. Sorry.
Let's have a look at the results then. And it was Ben Ducker taking a win over Kelvin Leeton. A huge difference though between first and second.
Yes, because Ben hosed that, to use a term. Kelvin and Matt Cox doing well in third place. And Martin Patrick finally back up where he deserves to be. He's had a couple of rounds where it's not been good for him. He's going to get back there again now, which is good. And Abel, who we saw shooting earlier on, race 16th, happy with that. Again, quite a new shooter. And Lee Hopgood down 20th. Didn't like that one at all, obviously.
In the Bartlett's, Christian taking the win over Maria. Where's Tom and
Vian and Tom? Yeah, Dad beat son. Okay, right. This is 50-50, this, isn't it, really?
Stage 4. We've moved a bit nearer now. They're 25 metres away from the targets. The same full-size 12 targets at the back, but also 11 little yellow balls to shoot as well. So the same thing is, they're going to move up and down the area here, make sure they engage all the targets. They're going to forget a few, but at the same time making sure they get his yellow balls as well. Should be, again, nice, quick, fast stage.
I think that's David Hill first. What's he going to go for first? Is it the targets or the balls? Targets at the back.
See, again, there's no wrong way of shooting this. The difficulty being, so the ball's in front from where he's standing now, the furthest away is about 25 metres, the nearest one's only 10. So if you think about where you're zeroing your gun is, it'll be different each time. So you move to the middle of the range, they'll all be roughly around about 10, 12 metres away from each other, sort of. So it's a question of getting all the white targets in the right position and then getting the balls, or do you get rid of the balls first, then shoot the paper targets? Who knows the right way?
The scorecard will tell you that a bit later.
He's doing well on the balls, though. Set that one. I was about to say, the balls is where I thought people would end up shooting their magazines dry, forget, and then topping up. David, thankfully, has done exactly what I was kind of hoping somebody would do. Sorry, David.
There's Gary.
He's doing the same as David, also getting the papers where he can, and then go back to the ball.
2 per target so far. Is that a jam or is it an empty magazine?
No, that was a jam. He's only shot 20 rounds, no, 25 round mates. I think there was one still left in there from before he changed the mag, and I think he just made a compound the problem.
Careful of his muzzle.
He's good, Gary. He hasn't flustered. He realised something's gone disastrously wrong and just collect what he can now.
We'll run out of magazines.
I've got to say, yeah, I ran out of ammo at one stage years ago, so now when I get to the stage, even on a 10 round stage, I'll have 90 rounds with me on 3 magazines. I will not run out of ammunition ever again.
Because you keep missing everything.
Well, if you think about it, you could have 2 magazine jams. It's certainly possible to go through 3. Just like Vector's had 30 rounds, so I'm blessed in that regard.
Seems to have recovered well here, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's kept his composure. I mean, this is an awful stage, all those jams, and he's gone down and carried on, so well done, Gary.
Yeah. And Ben Ducker.
Bye.
I think Ben is fighting for honour now. He knows he's not going to win the championship, but I think he's trying to get as close as he can. That seems very deliberate shooting. So he's gone to his canted dot now, so he's gone the scope for 25 metres, now going to 10 metres down to his dot.
Yeah, so it looks like Ben's shooting as much as he can from one position before he moves.
Yeah. Nice shooting. Ooh.
Ooh.
Give Ben his credit. Memory there. He's managed to shoot at a group and another group from 2 positions. Well done. Let's see what Kelvin does.
Straight onto the target at the back. Super target so far. No top-ups.
They tend to shoot together, Kelvin and Ben, so you probably see one has watched the other, and whether or not they copy each other or have agreed that that's the best way forward for shooting.
They've taken care of your balls very elegantly.
As my balls deserve. Yeah, exactly same stage plan as Ben.
Are you ready?
Here's Martin Patrick.
Stand by.
Bit of a reformation, Pat Martin. A couple of bad rounds, is now chomping at the bit for the top 5, so good for him. 3 rounds in there again. Again, Northampton seems to like to do that.
You get 3 bullets, do they? Are they the rounds?
No, I mean, they're different levels, obviously, but generally between 3 and 5p a round. So, and bear in mind all shooting guns that are probably thicker than 1,500 quid. If they're worried about 3p a bullet, we're in trouble. That hasn't. No, it has actually. Okay. See, he was clever there. He didn't try and shoot that again. He saw it was coming off, didn't shoot it.
He's putting extra rounds in.
I don't understand why they do this, but it seems to be what they seem to think is a good thing to do. Their theory being is that extra percentage.
Are you ready?
Abel?
Stand by.
So he gets on with his steel sights.
Again, new competition for him. I think a new gun to him as well. So
It's just honest, isn't it? It's just an honest way of shooting.
that would suggest that having an optic is dishonest. I'm not sure how you rationalise that particular comment.
It's just a gun with its steel sights and no attachments, no mods.
Yeah, you're right. Like saying cars peeked out with a horse dragging in front of them, yeah?
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Well, Abu clearly agrees with you. He's got an iron sight gun, which does make it harder compared to an optic. But like you said, he's still shooting a bullet out of a gun, and the gun still needs to work. Yeah, that's out.
And that's that.
It will.
So let's have a look at the results then. Stage 4, Jim Stanley taking the win. Kelvin Leeton and Ben Ducker. So Kelvin and Ben obviously copying each other, work well.
Yeah, got very close again. And then Jack Nichols again, very up there very well. And Maria Bartlett, look at that. Wonderful score for her. So that's brilliant.
Lee Hopgood there in the senior category.
Dave Salmons didn't do so well for the down, so I think fairly compounded the senior. And Abel down 20th. And then Gary, you saw his run was a bit compromised, shall we say, at 21st. And James Thomas, you saw again, he ran out of ammo, so that's not going to be a great round for him.
Also, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this golf buggy stage, to be honest, John.
Yeah, well, it's always quite fun to see doing it different.
Yep, so please do join us after the break. Coming up, we do have this crazy stage on the golf buggy. Not too sure anybody scored anything on it, but it's still great to watch. Oh, and also we've got a bag carrying stage as well, over on 100 metres.
Keep them busy, keep them busy.
Stage 5. This will be a fun one. Pretty much drive-by shooting, this one. Sitting on a golf buggy. On the start, they have to drive down, and as they go back, they have to go past all these 12 targets, shooting over their shoulder. And as you can see, they come in and out of view. They have to shoot all of them before the golf buggy gets right to the end. Gonna miss a few onesies, we're sure of it.
I can guarantee you that. Is Gary taking it on first?
Again, I have to mention that the muzzles are always kept in a safe direction. Yes, they're moving, but the range officer sat next to them and another range officer behind them keep an eye purely on the trigger finger and on the gun angle, so it was safe, although it does look quite exciting.
So they can, once it's stopped, just swing back and...
That's right, yeah. So there wasn't a limited time stage. It was a question of shooting what they can. Now, they can't see all of them from front there, so they have to make sure that the target's in front first, but we didn't stop them shooting. As you can see, the range officer's actually right behind them, keeping an eye, I think.
So Christian Bartlett up next. It is difficult to fire a gun while you're on the move like that.
You know, when we did the dry run of this stage, and we realised just how hard it was, and how much you see in Hollywood people shooting from a moving vehicle. It is pretty much impossible, in all honesty.
Oh yeah, I was watching Expendables the other day, and they're on this helicopter, and they take out an entire platoon of bad guys who were on the back of a train. Like, there's no way in hell they're going to be able to do it. And there's another scene went to him standing on a boat and sniping sniping the bad guys off a building from about a mile away. It's like not going to happen.
Yeah, it really isn't. I mean, you've got people on a buggy, it's only 10 metres away, and these guys do know how to shoot. And they're missing a target, that's a human-sized target. Hollywood has a lot to answer for in people's misinterpretations.
I see Paul there just hitting the sand, shooting a bit low. I've no idea if any of those are hitting anything.
No. They're going in the stands, so it's all safe in terms of position, and it was a very different way of shooting. It was again, after the match, the range crew all shot it, and it was just great fun.
I need to rack that.
I think that's outside of Paul's comfort zone, personally. Is David?
It doesn't look particularly comfortable for anybody, to be honest.
He's not actually fired.
Oh, press the trigger.
I think David's given up on that one almost already. I think for this particular stage, it was the most fun thing for me because I was range officer for it. It was the moment it started, all agents laugh because they realised just how hard it was to shoot these targets from the middle.
That's the same for everybody, isn't it?
It was,
they've all got to take on the challenge. But it's not something you get to experience every day, this is it?
No.
I notice all the targets just aren't quite at the same height.
Is that because I'm an evil sod again?
I don't know whether you've done it on purpose or whether it's a mistake, but
probably a mistake, to be honest. I wish he'd smile more when he shoots, Tom.
Stand
he's
by.
a very serious man. There's Jim.
Equally serious shooter.
I think he's going to be shooting, aiming back at the ones that you can see from when they stopped, so it kind of alleviates those targets a little bit, doesn't it?
There was no real way to plan this stage, that was it. We gave them one run on the buggy so they could see the speed, and that was it. So they had to go, they're shooting it, not blind, but in terms of, there was no way of planning it as much. It was, as I say, to shoot the targets as they come to bear. Now Ben does like to shoot ammo, so we're kind of curious.
Just like one giant hose of bullets.
I think this is a good run. Yeah, I think he got a few rounds on there. See what happens.
Well, it's Jim Stanley taking a win, actually, ahead of Ben Ducker.
Close though, goes so 2-2, not too bad. And James Thomas obviously straight up there with third place. And Christian Bartlett we saw shoot, obviously sixth. They were happy with that.
Yeah, Nick Towndrow is at the win in the senior category on that stage.
And Paul van der Bosch in 13th. I didn't think he enjoyed that too much. Richard Poole did well though from 14th. He obviously did enjoy that. But then as you can see, awful lot of zeros down the bottom. Just not getting enough not enough scores.
Yeah, Abel obviously struggling with his iron sight.
I think even the guys who shot zero all said they enjoyed shooting that stage, which at the end of the day, it should be fun to do this stuff.
Well, what's up next, John?
Okay, stage 6, bit of a delivery man this one. We have here a fairly heavy bag. It's heavy because it's got a sleeper inside it. What the shooters have to do is pick this up and then deliver it to a tyre about 60 metres away, all the time shooting targets either side. Now it's heavy enough, arguably you could shoot a rifle with it, but this thing weighs about 20 kilos. So after a while it's going to get tiring. So let's put the bag down, shoot, pick it up, and go again. And you've got targets both sides all the way down the range. So what we're going to get is we have people who are going to run past a target because they'll miss it, or they'll get tired on the hand and try and shoot one-handed, or put the bag down. And they finish off right down by that tyre there. They've got to put the bag on the tyre, shoot last targets, end of stage. They're going to complain like hell over this.
Sir, are you ready? Stand by.
Let's see, some of the competitors did enjoy this one, especially Jim Stanley.
It's again, Tom is deciding that he's going to shoot carrying the bag. Now, you're going to need some arm strength for this, but it is totally possible. It's basically a half a wooden sleeper in that bag, so it's not light.
And already you could see on those targets it's shooting low as the sleeper's pulling it down, look.
Yep, yeah, as expected. And again, we didn't get a chance to practice this before, so there's no way of knowing which is the best way of shooting it. Do you run up, drop the bag? Do you carry the bag with you? Do you run with it? There's no way of knowing.
Tom's had enough of the sleeper. I'll just plonk this here and go and deal with these targets and come back to that.
Yeah. I think there was some manly, I can carry that bag, and then ended, no, I can't. It wasn't the rules, by the way, that you couldn't wrap it over your shoulder like a handbag. You had to carry it with your hands only. Yeah. You couldn't put it over your back. Everything else was there. That was part of the rules. You weren't allowed to do that.
There's a point in the middle of that run there where you could just put it down and go and deal with 3 targets, 2 on the left and 1 on the right, but he picked it up each time.
Again, I mean, one argument that we discussed was, do you run all the way down, put the bag on the tyre, targets in reverse? So there's no... Would that be the better way of doing it?
Let's see what Jim thinks. Just pop you over there for now.
I think Jim has decided that carrying the bag with shooting is really going to hurt his score, so he'd rather...
drop it and deal with them.
I can't help thinking his height has helped there. He's picked a place he can shoot as many targets as possible.
Yeah, that's good planning, that. Even though he was literally a foot away from that, it wasn't very accurate, was it?
No, that's the problem. I try to explain to people that you shoot at a target that's only a foot away. The bullet comes out of the muzzle, but your optic is mounted above the muzzle, so it won't be zeros. You'll look at the optic and you'll actually look in above the target. So as a result of that, the rounds will miss.
One-handed?
Yeah, not overly advised, but from 6 inches away you kind of hope you hit it.
That was a well thought out stage, that.
I think Jim did well there. I think he applied some brain to that. And here's Ben, who will apply some bullets to it.
So he's going with the hold in the bag first.
Yeah,
let's see how long that lasts.
Ben Ducker bam bams it. That's a surprise. It's just interesting to see the different shooters. Yeah, these are all good shooters. All have 3 different ways of shooting this stage.
Fairly accurate, even with the bag in his hand. That's a shame. Run out of bullets.
Well, it's interesting you see that. So he's carrying the bag in his trigger hand, so which is near his body, which means his weight on the gun is less of a fulcrum as when Tom carried it with his support hand, which obviously carries the weight further than the muzzle, which is why eventually he's had to put the bag down. So
doesn't look very accurate though on that one.
I don't think this is beating Jim's time. I think Jim has thought about this a bit more carefully.
Not with that jam as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate, yeah. But nice to see an actual comparison which one I went on first. Well, it's probably jammed in there, isn't it? That's in there.
Let's change his hand now.
Yeah. So why would you're best off shooting it then picking the bag up? But it's great commentating from the you're not the person there. It's so easy to be critical, but it's a tough stage. And Jim did take it. There you go.
And it was Nick Towdrow, 2nd place. That's a great run by Nick. And then Jack Nichols, where is...
well, clearly the
Ben
work. Ben is down, so is Tom. Matt Cox did well in 4th. Jack Nichols again, doing very well up in 3rd.
Abel will be happy there in the top 10.
That's very good, yeah. And then look at the scores as well. Very, very close.
Maria wasn't a fan of that one.
No, Ben down 22nd. Yeah, it didn't help too much, did it, really? And Tom Alloway at 16th. So, yeah, that was a tough stage over on that one. But, again, very interesting. There's no way of say which way the best way of shooting that stage. Impossible to know.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the different techniques they had, to be honest.
Yeah, it's we haven't done that stage before or since, I've got to say.
We've got an interesting one up next, which is the Texas Star.
Yeah, so Texas Star is going to be a bit of a challenge because of the distance we're making them shoot it at. So that would be quite interesting to see how well they do.
Okay, so this is what the Texas Star looks like. They've got to take out each plate, and as the plate goes down, it spins, and that's at 90 metres.
90 metres. This is going to be tough for him. I'm going to call it off that. We've got the man down 10.
Okay, that's that.
Last stage of the day, and this time we're using some of the aim right targets again. The Texas Star, right the way down about 90 metres away. Texas Star has 5 metal plates. As you hit the plate, it falls off. That causes it to spin. The first shot's nice and easy, the other 4 are real pains. But at 90 metres, quite a test, and we're giving a minute par time, so that's all they've got. They don't get them down inside a minute, they get a penalty if each one don't knock off.
So 60-second timer. Jim Starley shouldn't have any problem with this. It does look far away from here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yes. And when we first planned it, there was an observation and not many people would clear it. But I did say it's quite a big plate target, 6 inches across. Yes, it's 90 metres, but I mean, it's quite a long time. The first one shouldn't have done at all. And then also what happens is that as you start to shoot them, they start to spin.
Pretty good.
Very good, yeah, I'll say, very good. I would say that if that's not a winning score, it will certainly be in the top 3.
Jim Starley, double champion.
Yeah,
The
thank
smile
you.
on your face says it all.
Yeah, it's been a really good match and a really good season. I think I've shot well this year. I've put a lot of practice in, and with the help of Ely through the ammunition, and everything's working well at the moment. I'm enjoying it.
It really goes to show, and it's nice to see you passing on that experience to some of the new shooters.
Yeah, it's nice to shoot with them and like pass on the advice. Like you see some of them doing funny things because they don't know better, and it doesn't take much. Just take them to one side and show them a quick way of doing it. And yeah, I like sharing the knowledge.
There was a few times during this season where Ben Ducker looked like he was going to crawl his way back to you.
Yeah, I mean, he's given me a run for my money all year through these competitions and also the UK PSA competitions we shoot. It's been very close between us.
Yeah. Talk us through some of your favourite stages or highlights of the year.
Ooh, of the year. I think one of my favourite stages has to be the bag stage today. I like the stages that are open and flowing where you're running down the range, you've got targets left and right, and there's a few different ways to do it. It requires stage planning to try and get that advantage, get that edge. Yeah. Other stages I've enjoyed, the golf bug has been interesting. It's been a lot more difficult than people think, bouncing around on the back, trying to shoot the targets. Yeah, I'm trying to recall other stages. There's been so much shooting this year.
There has, hasn't it? Well, obviously you're smiling, you're beaming. So congratulations, go and enjoy the win.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, confirmation of Jim Starley, the 2021 Hawk Optics British Mini Rifle champion.
Here's Ben, and he has pushed him hard. I would probably say that if Jim shot badly, Ben would pick up the pieces, but Jim has been consistently good, so he's been a tough competitor to beat.
Yeah, I think the rest of the field were just waiting for him to make that mistake.
No, there's 2 or 3 guys who could challenge him. I just think what Jim's benefit is very consistent. He's always practicing. He shoots a lot of the distances as well. His whole family's very shooting oriented. But it's been nice to watch. Kelvin as well. Kelvin is relatively new shooter, only been shooting for 2 or 3 years, and he's been challenging right up there. So it's been great to watch him perform as well.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it was going to fall. It always was. As a range officer, you'd call that hit. So it has come off.
Oh, I can't hit that as he's wobbling, can he? Oh, there we go.
It's one of those stages where you think volume will help you, and it really won't. There's no point just trying to empty a mag down there. All you'll do is hit nothing. Yeah, he obviously got mountain. He had the gun. It hurts his muscles, so it's a bit relaxing. But got the last one down there. Well done.
Okay, so here are the overall results for Stage 7. It was Jim Stanley taking the win. It was a fantastic run. Look at the difference from first to second.
Huge, yeah. But Tom Davis, look how well he shot that, 2nd place. And then Nick again with old plate specialist in 3rd. But yeah, that big difference. Jim did absolutely perfect on that score. It was a lovely stage for him.
And here are the overall match results. Jim Starley taking the overall win ahead of Ben Ducker, Kelvin Leeton, Matt Cox, Nick Townsend. That top 3 was kind of predictable, wasn't it?
Yeah, Matt Cox doing 4th, very good though. And then Nick doing very well in 5th place as well, so it's excellent news. It was going to be a great season. I mean, they've been very close all around, and this last round obviously could be a drop score for some, or it could be the peak score for everybody. So
yeah, and so is Jim Starley taking the Championship ahead of Ben Ducker, Lee Hopgood in the senior category winning, Maria Bartlett and Dan Starnes.
Dan Starnes won the youth shooter, and then obviously Paul van der Bosch winning super senior as well. So it's been a good series. Every class has had some competitors. It's been close in some.
So Paul van der Bosch, inevitable that you're here again as a super senior winner. It wasn't easy though. You had some stiff competition.
I did. It's not inevitable because, you know, it gets harder and harder, and I've got to keep trying the best I can. But you know, that's what I do. I try to do the best I can, and it's been a busy year. I've had 3 or 4 wins over the course of the year in different competitions. So it's all standing me in good stead for trying to get into the world's team for Florida. So that's what my goal is.
Lee, the smile says it all, coming back off a win last year, winning the Newcomers Cup, and now this year winning the seniors. It's all come together for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, really enjoying it. It's my second season with Mini Rifle, so fairly new to Mini Rifle. Loving it, meeting some really good people, some good courses of fire here today. Made some rookie mistakes today, but I am still a rookie, but good result. I'm really pleased, really pleased.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how competitive you've become. You weren't really as competitive when you started.
No, my other half competes with horses, and she is very competitive, but this has really brought it out in me. I'm really getting into it.
Dan Starnes, it's been a tough year, tricky year. We've seen many stages, thousands of rounds fired. You're the newcomer victor. Congratulations, how do you feel?
Thank you very much. No, honestly, over the moon. Can't believe it. It's been a really good series of rounds that we've shot. I've struggled in places and, you know, had some good times. But yeah, I'm glad that we got to where we did.
Yeah, feisty competition as well. You had Gary right up chasing you along all the way.
Yeah, so there's a great bit of banter between me and Gary at times. So yeah, no, it's been great to pip him at the post, so to speak. Sorry, guys.
Okay, shooters, are you ready?
Okay, and this is a bit of a treat for our shooters. We join them in round 2. This is Scott Nichols versus Dave Salmons.
So the concept's pretty similar to basically shooter v shooter, shoot the plates down as fast as you possibly can. You must end with that last plate at the end, which is stop plate. No time, just knock out stop.
Oh, Paul knocked.
Both had gun issues at the end.
Winner by pure luck of the draw.
This is as much fun as it looks, it really is. And we tend to do it at the final round if we can.
Stand by.
Carl versus Howard. Oh, Howard.
I think he's the last one he had a rough on. Can't do very well then. Yeah, there's a fair bit of banter in man stuff, I'm afraid. So, yeah.
Okay, and this is on to the finals now. Let's look at Pounder versus Kelvin.
I'm betting you. Yeah, there you go. Nick is a good shooter. He knows what to do. You see those plates interact, so you can see which one falls first.
Okay, I'm going to go with Jim on this one.
Yep, Jim took that one. This should be the semi-final thing, isn't it? Jack versus Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, nice
Brilliant.
shot.
Good stuff.
So it's another semi-final, Carl versus Nick. I'm still going to vote for Nick.
Are you ready? Stand by.
I'm going to go with Carl.
Ever
Should have gone Nick. Good shooting, Nick.
Right hand side, Nick Pounder. So clear, please. Shooters, are you ready? Ready.
Okay, and this is the grand final. This is the best out of 3.
Best out of 3, yes. Oh! Look at how close it was, yes. So 1-0 to Nick.
To Jack, sorry.
To Jack, sorry, yes.
Shooters, are you ready?
And the swap sides as well.
Stand by.
Just in case, you never know the argument.
Puts it at 1-1.
1-1, always a play for the last round. So.
You'll have 1 bullet left.
Ready. Stand by.
Oh, Jack takes it. That was wonderful watching. They're two really good shooters shooting players. So it's good fun to have it in the championship as well.
Appreciation from the crowd. Jack just wants to get the last one down, does he?
It's nice.
Well, that brings an end to another season here at Silverstone Shooting Centre. A huge congratulations to all the competitors, especially the likes of Jim Stanley. But more importantly, there's great competition in the Newcomers Cup and the seniors.
It's pretty great. I mean, the first competition, obviously, from 2 years ago, quite impressed with the depth of competitors. This year, even better. I mean, for example, Lee Hopgood, he wins the new shooter category last year and wins senior category this year. I mean, that's pretty damn good going in terms of shooting for well. Jim, again, back-to-back winner, as with Paul van der Bosch and the super senior back-to-back winner. So it's to see the depth of shooting is great.
It is fantastic, and Lee Hopgood is one to watch out for. I've been really impressed with his shooting and his overall play. He came into shooting not very competitive, and now he is.
Well, to be honest, we watch these guys come up in terms of Lee's a member here, so we've seen them go from never shot before and then picking up the sport. Lee, to his credit, has done a lot of shooting. He's been competing a lot of places as well as here. It's also nice to see the regular shooters, Kelvin and Tom Ellaway. They were neck and neck all the way through. And it's only the last round that really Kelvin sort of took it last little bit of it. And again, lady shooters, only one lady shooter, but Maria did very well in terms of shooting, in terms of competitively. It's been a great season, I have to say. Long and tiring, but there's 61 courses so far we've put together this year, so we're a bit tired now, but it's been a good season, and I'm glad you all do well.
Yeah, and Ben Ducker was clawing his way up towards Jim Starley. Couldn't quite get there. So I suppose next season, can anybody catch Jim Starley?